Look at your business model first. If it is content intensive, product-led growth, for example, if you need to just get as much content out as possible, you want to start with a CRM that drives a customer journey that's almost primarily automated, 100%, because that allows you to hook up all your different content channels and analyze each one very on the fly and be able to make tests quickly and determine what works the best and determine the best lead or engagement score model. So you want to start with marketing as a core.
Welcome back to the Revenue Recipe. I'm Ben Wiggins on behalf of Sellerant and on behalf of Proclaim. As a reminder, qualified startups get 75% off HubSpot for startups and also off of Celerant's award-winning Growth Hero objectives-based onboarding. Kenan, Mr. Rappuchi, what's going on today?
Use that loosely, my friend. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. We're talking about systems today, specifically the do's and don'ts of building a B2B growth tech stack.
So when we talk about the systems pillar specific around building a B2B growth stack, you got to know where to start. You're a founder and you're bringing your company to market. Mm-hmm. You need to build a growth tech stack.
I see ads for 100 different tech services.
The choices are endless, okay?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of different use cases, and there's a lot of great products to choose from. So the easy thing to do is get caught in analysis paralysis and figure out what's what. Yeah. What the knee-jerk reaction is generally, well, I need that looks good. Oh, I need that looks good. Let's buy that too. So it's the beginnings of app sprawl, and you'll never implement any one of them effectively if you do that.
Yep.
So where do you start? You start with the right CRM to scale your business.
Okay. And what does that landscape look like?
So the landscape looks like Salesforce, HubSpot, okay, and then pretty much everybody else fighting for scraps, okay.
Why are they the best?
Salesforce is at the top of the market because they focus on enterprise businesses. It's a high cost for enterprise installations with a lot of users, and they've been around the longest, okay.
Yeah.
HubSpot is taking market share away at a pretty respectable clip for a variety of reasons, not the least of which is the way they've integrated sales with marketing. So Salesforce started with an archaic but still true to this day sales model, data model, which is everything starts with a lead. Okay,
right. We were talking about that several weeks ago.
Yeah, exactly. So and they've just kind of built on top of that to be an enterprise platform, and they started the year. They were first to market. Okay? HubSpot came in and made a lot of noise building around inbound, the power of content. Brian Halligan, Dharmesh Shah, they're both extremely brilliant guys, co-founders, and they were extremely innovative in saying, look, content is the way to drive engagement inbound.
Yeah, I read Mark Roberge's book.
Yeah, absolutely. So so you look at those two, they're the 10-ton gorillas in the room. There's a lot of boutique products or niche products that are trying to play the value proposition or the price as the value, and other integrations with AI, et cetera. A CRM is borderline commodity.
Okay.
What I mean by that is there's many choices, but what's most important as a founder is looking at one that can do as much as possible so that you don't get yourself down the app sprawl rabbit hole.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, that's the key.
All right, so let's say you've bought a CRM that has a wide variety of capabilities. What else do you still need?
So you need to know what integrations are inside that marketplace. Okay, so both HubSpot's that's a Dreamforce. I can't. App Exchange, I think, is what they still call it. I've been on Salesforce for almost 10 years.
Yeah.
HubSpot's app marketplace is phenomenal. And so they're always creating new integrations with pretty much every piece of software you would ever use in a business. So knowing what integrations are in that marketplace really takes care of 90% of your growth stack problems. Really does. Okay. But you have to start with the CRM as the foundation.
Yeah. A lot of choices around the landscape. How do I choose?
Look at your business model first. Okay. So if it is content intensive, product-led growth, for example, if you need to just get as much content out as possible, you want to start with a CRM that drives a customer journey that's almost primarily automated, 100%. Okay. Because that allows you to hook up all your different content channels and analyze each one very, very on the fly and be able to make tests quickly and determine what works the best and determine the best lead or engagement score model. So you want to start with marketing as a core.
Okay.
If your business is sales intensive, consultative sales, okay, where there's a lot of interaction with a customer, and so that customer is going to find you, or you'll do prospecting and find them, it's pretty much a given that there's going to be 5, 6, 8, 10, 12, 20 calls over 3, 6, 12, 40 weeks with, 20, 60, 200K, 4.2 million contract values. There's a lot of sales interactions. Start with sales at the core. That's where Salesforce started, and it's still it's a premier CRM. Now, HubSpot Sales Pro is making some inroads there big time. Sales Pro and specifically enterprise. So look at your business first on the CRM and say, am I more marketing driven and content driven, or am I more sales driven? And try to identify the CRMs that are going to have strong points in either one of those. I think HubSpot, where it shines, yes, we're biased because we are a HubSpot partner. We're all in with HubSpot, but there are other platforms that do the job very well too. So.
Okay. Then, all right. So I made the decision. What are the musts and must nots best practice?
Yeah. So first order of business is unless you as a founder have done about 100 successful CRM implementations for paying clients in the past, don't try to do it yourself. Now, that said, HubSpot has an incredible, and any legitimate CRM has an incredible learning base, knowledge base of how-tos. It's really part of the strategy for their customers to adopt and stay, so they minimize or eliminate churn. So the resources that are available in these learning centers or knowledge bases are incredible. They're vast. The issue with that is, how do you know what to look for to get started? So this is another reason why choosing an expert to partner with to do your implementation, and ideally one that can not only effectively do an implementation without a significant amount of cost or effort, but that understands your business, not just a CRM person. Okay. So choose somebody that understands your business model and can provide proof and validated proof that they've had significant success with many other businesses who give them rave reviews on implementation and adoption. So choose the right partner. That's the first, must do. And the first must not do is never lead with the tech. So choose the right partner, lead with your business model, strategy, operations, market. Are you sales intensive? Are you marketing intensive? Are you a mix of both? What you don't do is lead with the tech. I see this too many times. Well, we chose this because it has that. Okay. So they're letting the CRM its features dictate what the business is going to do and how it's going to do it. So it's a very slippery slope. It's hard to sometimes make the distinction. Always lead with your business model first, and then look at your current processes, your current operations, your current customer journeys, and how your customers interact with you, and then make a list of requirements that are important for you to scale your business. And then that's your checkbox to use for vetting CRM systems.
Yeah, and really, if you back it out far enough, what you're leading with is here's what the market needs. Like, this is the problem that has to be solved, and this is how we're going to solve it, and this is how the tech enables us to do that. But if you get that process backwards, you're trying to tell the market what it needs, and we know where that goes. Yeah,
don't lead with tech. That's the biggest must not. Some other things, don't try to cobble it together too quickly. So we have what we call a growth hero, objectives-based onboarding. We're HubSpot certified, so we're certified to deliver this.
This is an award-winning program.
It is actually. And we take a learn, adopt, embrace approach. It's a stepping stone. It's a building block. Learn, adopt, embrace. I think the latest stats that someone on my team put together about 3 weeks ago was, I think it's almost 70% of CRM implementations are considered a failure by the customer in the first 12 months. And that is a significant churn concern, okay? Which is one of the reasons why legitimate CRMs have partner ecosystems, and they certify those partners and require those partners to be certified to help deliver the expertise necessary to help businesses take a stepping stone building block approach to implementing a CRM. For technical founders especially, there's a strong urge to, I got this, man. This is super simple. Like, make a few properties, choose what kind of criteria those properties are, throw them on a dashboard report. There's a simple drag and drop. I got this. I don't need an expert. Before you know it, their data's not segmented. They have no value on the data. They have no all-in adoption, and it just becomes another albatross that they're paying for that they're not getting the ROI out of. So, yeah.
Let's talk budget. What's the bottom line? What's a growth stack going to cost me?
Yeah, so if you're a founder, early stage, if you're a qualified startup, HubSpot for Startups has an incredible discount of up to 75%. But let's look at the retail price. Let's assume that we're a founder. We're not a part of a partner program that allows for that perk or incentive. If you want the golden, you want to start from gold and you're paying full retail, you're probably paying around $1,800 a month. Okay. Now, before you go, whoa, that's almost the cost of an SDR. Well, you don't need an SDR, but that's another story for another day. So if you're looking at that cost, and for a startup that's bootstrapping or has low revenue or limited runway, that's not doable. Okay.
Right.
But if you have some revenue, it's incredibly scalable. And I love you guys at HubSpot, but I kind of know how sales works in the SaaS arena. Everything's negotiable. Okay. I don't like to encourage people to ask for a discount, but ask for a discount. So if you want the Cadillac, it's going to be about $1,800 a month, but that gives you literally everything you need to scale every part of your business and integrate every part of your business and automate a significant part of your business.
Okay.
So think in terms of value. So starting high, that's what you're looking at. Now, fundamentally, for startups who are just getting into market, irrespective of whether they're qualified for the HubSpot for Startups discount, we recommend the Sales Hub Pro, which is on a seat license. So if you have one founder selling, it's $100 a month. It's very affordable. And the Marketing Hub Pro. So that gives you some core seats and gives you functionality to integrate all your marketing and content and campaigns and analytics and CTAs and websites and pretty much everything and anything, with a lot of powerful AI tools behind it. That starts at about $890 a month. Okay. So you're looking at about $1,000 a month for a highly powerful, highly scalable AI-enabled platform to drive growth for your business. Okay. So baseline for a premier CRM is about $1,000 a month that does everything. There are others for much cheaper, $30 a month, $50 a month. And they do basic fundamental things. They're like Google Sheets on steroids. Okay, really is what they are. Yeah. And there are other prospecting tools. Apollo just launched one. It's a very busy space. We recommend looking at a premier system that's scalable with your company, as opposed to one of the budget systems that at some point is going to outlive its usefulness, and you're going to have to strip it out, which the cost of doing that, you don't even want to touch.
Right. Yeah. And then I would be remiss if I didn't ask, what about setup costs?
Okay. That is a key component of the overall cost of your growth stack. Yeah. So HubSpot onboarding, I think for marketing is $3,000 or $4,000. And then there's other consulting costs. And they have a team internally that does this, and they're very good. There is a myriad of partners in the ecosystem that are phenomenal. Celerant is one. And prices are negotiable, but generally most cost between $2,500 and $7,500, depending on the scope of the onboarding. Okay. So that is generally, when we talk about what HubSpot calls objectives-based onboarding, that's a combination of business consultation, system alignment and integration, and making sure that the customer has objectives in mind from the onboarding, not just a setup of an activation of a CRM. How are you specifically going to power marketing initiatives? How are we going to establish and measure against SMART goals that we set? And how are we going to ensure that we're getting the most benefit out of the CRM as we run our business? So you're looking at a first-year investment overall with, let's say, a $3,000 average onboarding and $1,000 a month, $15,000 for the first year, which is about a quarter of the cost of one staff person that can operate it, but you can then hire different growth initiatives and different growth staff than one salesperson to operate it when you make that investment.
Okay. And you mentioned that you're a that you're a partner now, what is with HubSpot? What has that journey been like?
Celerant, it's been fun. It's been great. I had been using Salesforce in my business practice since 2002 until 2016. In 2016, HubSpot launched their inaugural sales hub. Celerant was one of the first partners. I moved from Salesforce over to HubSpot, went all in. Remember the days of Sam Belt. Sam, great to reconnect with you on LinkedIn. You're probably one of the longest tenured HubSpotters still roaming the halls in Cambridge. So Sam was instrumental in helping us implement as a sales partner, become certified. And we actually helped the early sales hub team build new installs and create offers to bring new startups onto the CRM early on. So since then, we've become a full-fledged solutions partner. We're currently a platinum tier. We are recognized every year since 2020 as the top HubSpot for startups partner, because that's the market that we serve. We've done more implementations and more support with HubSpot for startups than any other partner in the ecosystem. So it's been a fun ride.
Sounds like a fun ride. What about security? Will my data be safe?
Oh yeah, great question. So that is a common concern. So SOC 2 compliance, et cetera. But specifically, HubSpot really recently dropped this, which was awesome. It was a gap that they had that they solved. The enterprise hub in HubSpot now offers HIPAA compliant hosting of data.
Okay.
So that's critically important. HIPAA, PCI, obviously for commerce and healthcare are critically important. So when you look at data security, that element is not just germane to CRMs. It's a little more sensitive with CRMs, but well, this is my company's data. These are my customers, my files, my contracts, my revenue. This is my company unclothed, right?
Yeah.
So the bottom line is do your diligence and make sure, first off, and this is really a box that founders need to be very diligent in checking, looking at your own domain, looking at your own Google Workspace or Microsoft 365 workspace. Make sure you have security protocols in place for your users, 2FA all the time. And make sure you have multiple levels of security for sign-ons. It starts at the user level, because at the infrastructure level for HubSpot, AWS, Azure, Google Cloud Engine, it's all the same.
Yeah.
They all run on the same infrastructure. So everyone on this planet that uses something connected to the internet is subject to the same level of security at the infrastructure layer. Okay.
Yes.
Based on what they pay for. Okay. And that includes having your own private racks in a data center somewhere. That's a complete private network that, you manage and pay a lot of money to own and run and operate and maintain.
Yeah.
So end of the day, ask the question from your CRM provider, how they're securing their data and what happens if. Very important piece of the puzzle. One of those, make sure you do these. Okay.
Yeah. Who owns the growth stack?
That's a debatable point
Okay.
in every conversation when it comes down. So a revenue operations expert will tell you they do.
Yeah.
Okay. They don't. They're a key cog. Sales chief revenue officer will tell you they own the CRM. They shouldn't. Okay. The marketing CMO, our marketing officer, they'll tell you they own the CRM. They can make a compelling case.
Yeah.
And it's real, it's reasonable, it's valid. All of those cases are valid. But who owns the CRM? Executive leadership. They own it. The reason executive leadership owns it is because they have to ensure enterprise-wide adoption, that everybody uses this system. Let's go back to traction. Gino Wickman, it's like the system, the operating system. Everybody's got to have the same thing and use it the same way. Within reason, of course, it's always customizable for users and groups, but it's a company-wide initiative. Why? Because the CRM is there to give you insights into how your business is running and performing real time. And if everyone is on board, that has to come from the top.
Yeah.
And if everyone's on board, the top gets the best data, and everybody that's supporting the unified company mission is working from a single source of truth.
Full circle. Most important takeaways here.
Lead with your business, not with the tech.
Right.
Hire an expert to implement it for you and support it for you. Some larger enterprises probably have a team doing that. It's pretty expensive. You don't necessarily need that. You definitely don't need it as a startup or an early stage scale up. Get an expert to implement it, have that expert on hand for you whenever you need it. But take that learn, adopt, embrace approach. Don't try to bite too much off too soon, and make sure that you're building to your business need, not a tech need, and that you're building it to be scalable. That's the most important piece. And ultimately, set it up so it's friendly for the human users. And the human users that are going to be most impactful on the data and on the CRM are marketers and sellers.
Salespeople.
Yeah, marketers and sellers.
Okay.
Make them love it, and you will be delighted at the ROI you're going to have with a successful growth stack implementation.
As a reminder, qualified startups get 75% off HubSpot for startups at the link in the description, this link down here, and also off Celerant's award-winning Growth Hero objectives-based onboarding program. Thanks again for tuning in, Kenan. Appreciate the insights as always.
All the time. How to hub, baby. HubSpot all the way.
All right. Thanks for tuning in. We will catch you on the next one. I'm Ben Wiggins on behalf of Celerant and Proclaim, signing off.